Sono in cerca della gloria, in cerca della gioia.
So what's up,
In
bro?
cerca
What's going
della
You all
on?
right, man?
gloria.
I'm good,
Good
man.
to see you, buddy.
Same,
Yeah.
same.
All right.
Mhm.
I don't know, man. So we're just gonna let the conversation get started with the whole blind react to whatever's coming down the reels and then I want the audience, I want you to have opportunity for people to get to know who you are.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go into, some of your music and then maybe hip hop culture and how that's kind of running through the New River Valley and
That's what's up.
how you feel about things in the world. You know, I for me, music is how the culture is shaped. It's kind of how we feel. It kind of drives how we live.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
it definitely influences the masses, I think. And hip hop that's done for that's what that's done for me is shown me things that I probably wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you know,
I definitely like the
put your
music.
perspective on it.
Definitely with hip hop, and one thing I guess working in more recent years and just seeing things that music marks time periods.
Definitely.
And so man, I've been watching, not recently, but I had watched these things. It's by like Tom Hanks, man, and I think it's called Decades, and it starts at like the 50s,
Yeah.
60s, but each decade is marked by certain music, and
Yeah.
there's certain music you hear certain things and you like, oh, that's the 70s, when the Vietnam War was going on, or that's the 80s, when they were just coming, out of
Yeah.
disco, or 90s when it was, gangsta hip
Yeah.
hop. So it really marks time.
Yeah.
And for people,
Right.
people always remember. They say, "Oh, I remember when this song came out because I was in this grade, or I was doing that, or I was doing this, or this was going on in the world." So
Right.
it's it's big, even if you're not a music head, so to speak. It's just big on people's lives in general.
It has an influence in your life.
Yeah.
It's you know impactful on what you consume and how the ambitions that you have. I
Hmm.
mean, music leads to motivation.
Yeah.
Music leads you know to ambition, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So let's pull up something here. We kind of just kind of break the ice here and kind of get to know each other in this regard when we bring something up, whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
There's going to be a lot of real estate content coming through my feed, so we might just skip that.
Yeah.
We might just skip the real estate stuff and get towards like more. I don't know. We need some volume there, whatever it is. All right, let's see what this guy has to say.
That's the big thing. That's like the biggest takeaway that I want anybody watching these videos is just because the contractor's cheap doesn't mean it's going to be good. You don't want cheap. You don't want necessarily the most expensive. I mean, you get what you pay for. So when people are like, oh, you're this much more than this guy, and it's like, well, why? What makes you say that? And they're like, oh, because you came, whatever, 100% more on framing. And I'm like, either I saw something that he didn't or something's wrong there. And I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to match his price. This isn't a cost comparison here. You're getting what you pay for. If you're after cost savings, go with them. If you're after quality, then you go with me. Don't
I mean, I see that every day in my world. You see that in your world at all?
Yeah. So, just looking at that, and you can say whatever you want to say. From my personal take, I'm gonna do my homework on you. Period. Like, you might, whatever your cost is, you might say you have the better cost.
Well, let's just say that I'm just
better
saying on the
quality.
music side, like, did you see that video about the violinist in the subway? He was playing his music on a $2 million violin. He's this big, regarded like violinist
Mhm.
that sells out, these auditoriums in New York City, makes millions of dollars a year.
Uh-huh.
But when he went to the subway, he only got tipped maybe $50 for a couple hours of his play on his $2 million violin.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like the environment that you're in, right? The
Yeah,
environment that you
yeah.
put yourself in and the packaging that's around it,
Oh yeah.
that type thing in your music industry. While we're trying to figure out a way for you guys to be exposed
Yeah.
and get the attention that you deserve based on the talent that you actually have, that's going to be, a partnership with me
Uh-huh.
trying to help y'all figure that out, trying to get you out of the subway, getting the pennies to the auditoriums, getting the millions. That's where we
Yeah.
got to figure that
Yeah,
out.
yeah. I definitely feel you on that one. So I think with that, and anybody who's kind of been in the music industry, they'll tell you all the time, it's not necessarily the talent that's going to get you somewhere; it's the work behind it, and what you put into it, kind of what you invest into it, and what you invest into yourself.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing, and I say a big thing, and that's just it. And I say that's just it. You can be that $2 million artist, or have $2 million equipment, have $1 million talent. But if you're not put in the right lane, the right avenue, or given the right exposure, you're not going to get it.
If you don't know how, if you don't know how to capture the attention properly and be ready for that moment to just, whatever you got going on now isn't what you got going on today. When that hits, isn't what you got going on anymore. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
whatever that is, holding you where you are in survival mode as you progress, and trying to figure out, how to harness everything coming your way, how to be ready for the road, or whatever stage you got to go on to for the best opportunities for you to make um, your thing, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the key, right? So, you know, you guys are both crafting music a lot, 100, your album's out. We, figuring that situation out and being ready for the moment when you can get the attention and then be ready to go turns you to get you out from, a lot of people doing the same thing but charging different fees,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and that's in my industry every
Oh,
day.
yeah.
In the real estate game, the public doesn't understand why Scott Bunn's different, you know. So I got to go make them aware of why Scott Bunn's
Yeah,
different,
yeah.
and why my fee is that's a little bit higher
Yeah.
than this other guy's fee. Why they want to pay this other fee.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the key to my life, is to knowing that I'm the white gloves experience versus the bargain discount.
But that's from the work, you
Yeah.
put in, and the work that goes behind it. I was kind of laughing. I like that phrase you said, but you said it was battle tested.
Yeah.
So that means you've been in the field working, that and that's for anything.
Yeah.
It's not just music or even real estate, whatever it is in life, man. That's how you're gonna be ready, is from the work you put in.
Right.
And what's that saying about I'm trying to think of how it goes together. I'm thinking maybe it's opportunity. It's either opportunity or luck, but whatever it is, it says that it's a combination of work. I think it's opportunity is maybe a combination of work and luck. And when those two things meet at the correct point, everything's in line, and that's
What
kinda
is
when
that
the
saying?
doors
It's
are gonna.
it's
I think it's success. Success is
no,
hard
when
work.
skill and opportunity come, they call it luck or something
Okay,
like that.
maybe.
Yeah,
that's a
I'll
different one.
look it up again,
Yeah.
maybe. But
So the better you are, the luckier you get, right? So that's skill and opportunity coming together at the right
I
time.
guess I say that work.
Yeah, that's what people will call you when skill meets opportunity.
Yeah,
Then you got lucky.
But it's really the work that goes behind it. So,
Right.
and I say that I look at I kind of the blessing now, and I say the blessing a lot of times. When I book shows or go to these different venues, I can really go and say, hey guys, what's going on in this venue? Can we perform here? Do you guys have a slot there? And it's cool now, they're, oh yeah, come on, or we're doing this, or this is going on, versus remember when I first got here and it's like, oh man, put together this press kit and, put together this whole presentation because they didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And it's not only the exposure, but now why I feel it's so easy to go there because I'm always, working on something and there is always some work going on.
Give me all right. So now I'm interested. Give me your life in music. Tell me about the progression of, you know, kind of where you started and where you
Uh-huh.
are and where you want to be.
Man, started in Rochester, New York, just got it's a crazy, not a crazy story, but I feel like we've got one of those stories to rival like organized noise, like man, the number of guys that came out of the camp and stuff. So long story short, working on music up there. What brought me down south was just being able to focus on the music and pouring everything into this, ain't gonna lie, man. I was up there in New York and it's New York. So man, we out there just getting money and it was getting money. So if the music wasn't the focus. Why? Because we're getting money.
Yeah.
So to focus on the music, me and my homie, we moved out here, moved to Atlanta, and that's this was in the 2000s. So that's when the southern music scene was pop. Atlanta was popping.
Yeah.
That's when you knew it was popping. They came out with a movie called Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, we came down here, and that's when we learned a lot of the business. So even when we were in New York, we had been making music, been going to the studio, been kind of getting on the radio shows and stuff. Shout out to DJ Chris G. He was the first one putting us on shows. So we knew what was going on, but to actually be engaged in business and, booking venues, going to venues, seeing how the shows run, we learned that more down south. And just kind of, moving around. I settled in this area, I've got wife, kids in this area, so I'm in this area. Um, I was doing the music before the wife and kids, so it's a part of my life. So, came in, I've still got that going on, but this is where I live. So this is this is where it has to work. This is where I'm working from, my hub. So,
Right.
I've been in this area. It's going on 20 years now.
Heck yeah.
You know.
So here's what I really want to do to shine the light on the community is take a group like you guys, the two of you individually, and figure out a way to get the exposure we need to get you into the shows and the venues and the live performances and the things that are available here in the community to bring in income in your life and
Mhm.
make your life amazing from here, and we figure that out in some capacity to make that a full-time thing for you to do that, is your passion, and you don't have to go do any secondary things, and this just be it, and figure out a way to get enough support within the community to bring in income in that regard. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's the quest that we're on to try to figure out how to do that.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I think that's when you have the musicians who are looking at the bigger picture or the business minded individuals. So, and I say the older artists looking at the bigger picture, the Generation X artists, we're the ones running the game now. Like we control that shit now.
Yeah.
So we control the venues, we control just those avenues, the lanes to get in there. So feel it's just a point of kind of maximizing on that here. And taking what you have here and bringing it out to the world.
Yeah.
It's not so much. I saw the last show and you all were talking about. Well, here is they get stuff last here.
Yeah.
Which they do. It is what it is. They get stuff last, but also don't be afraid to branch out. Take your brand, out of this area,
Especially
expand out of this area.
especially in your category, in the music category, it doesn't matter where you are. If you have something that hits with the people, it's going to resonate and you're going to get the attention that you deserve.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
so if we figure out the formula of social media,
Hmm.
getting the content delivered there properly for the algorithms to take a hold of it
Uh-huh.
and juice it as far as it can juice it for it to get to enough people for
Yeah.
them to like it, or you know figure out you know where the consumer stands on your product,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's what we've got to do, is we've got to get in enough repetition
Yeah.
to understand the aspects of social media, to go out there and put our content out there, and then let the consumer decide if they like it or not.
Yeah. We do, and it's also communities gotta support community. So
Yeah.
and when I say that, like, man, artists coming to the Berglund Center, like, I don't understand. If you got somebody coming to the Berglund Center and you're bringing in an independent artist, why don't you have it in your contract that they have to have some opening act from within the area? You know, yeah,
Mhm.
what is it? K92? That's like the pop station, a popular station. Man, y'all throw an hour on for your local artists.
Yeah.
You can throw that on once a week. The Kiss It or Diss It. They got that and all the other major cities. So pick up on some of these little things, and these are little things that are gonna, you know, that are gonna help bring your community out to the rest of the world, and also help your people in the
That's a
community
great idea.
expand the
Shout out,
community.
yeah, shout out to all the radio stations here around the greater New River Valley, Roanoke Valley. Uh, you should definitely take a little bit more time and attention to plug some local musician here around town and just see if the local community is feeling it or not.
Yeah.
Like the Kiss It or Diss It, man. I think
Yeah.
that's a great
Ah,
idea.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
great idea.
It's huge, and it doesn't have to be something kind of a small thing like you were talking. I watched the other
Yeah,
podcast,
I
so
appreciate that. I
I
appreciate
saw
that.
y'all talking about Kodak, and that's where I'm from.
Yeah,
My Rochester, New York, it's home of Kodak.
yeah.
But they were doing like the Kiss It or Diss It deals, and then it just kind of blew up. Like, the community responded to it enough where it went to, man, they were having battles, like every Friday night, and people were tuning into the battles, and streaks were going on, and it was something that got the community involved. And that's just it. You're gonna have to. How do you get the community involved? How do you get the community to respond to something? Put the community in it.
Yeah.
Make the community a part of it.
Yeah.
That's how you get them involved.
And
That's how you get them to respond.
and that's how we're creating local legends. Like
Yeah.
those communities have those particular artists that might not have ever gotten national fame,
Yeah.
but they're revered in the community and respected and loved. And that's a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a big deal for somebody to put themselves out there, like any musician does.
Mhm.
The pain and suffering of creating
Yeah.
your product, there should be some at least opportunity for community buy-in.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
the community got to listen to it in the platforms that they're consuming on, that would help.
Yeah.
That would certainly help.
Yeah.
And it would drive more attention to those particular stations and companies, because they're actually supporting the local community.
Mhm.
So the local businesses would then even want to be a part of it. Like Scott Bunn Enterprises, or Rio Broker, Scott Bunn Division would want to sponsor something that helped out the local community.
Oh, yeah.
That then that could transfer into a prize that you won,
Yeah.
that could put money in your pocket.
Yeah.
So like there's a whole circle of life,
Yeah.
that happens here.
It is. You're right. You're right, man. Just the circle of life, and then
We're having like a strategic, what did you call it? Like a local strategy meeting live on air.
Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, it's there, and these are it's necessary, man.
And that was a good video to start the conversation.
Yeah, it was. It's great.
All right, let's hit the next one.
Next. Let's get it.
He's going in for a sniff.
Do you have confidence in Secretary Austin?
I do. I'm sorry. How you doing?
Was it a lapse in judgment for him not to tell you earlier?
Yes.
Yep, Biden sniffs another young girl.
Oh my lord.
Oh yeah, this was great. This is great.
Oh, it's starting into politics.
All right. So how do we feel about Joe Biden?
Ah, man, he's suspect. They're all suspect.
All right. So
I mean, he's suspect. And I say he's suspect is the man is a black man, any man you challenge. Yeah, if you don't vote for me, you not black. Man, what you to challenge my authenticity?
that means you gotta all think alike.
Like
You gotta all think alike if that's the case. And that, right then and there, he'd have lost my vote. I'm the type of guy that if a statement like that is said, then it's fuck you. That's it. Like I don't bow to any authority. I am like anti-establishment, anti-authority. I don't get told. I do what I want to do.
yeah.
So I'm an independent mind. I'm an independent thinker. And when somebody comes out and puts me in a box, you want to put me in a box? Well, fuck your box.
Oh yeah.
So Joe Biden to me is the worst president in American history, by far, and that's pretty bad. When George W. Bush held the rank for me for a long time until Joe Biden stole on us, pretty much, in my opinion.
Yeah, he might want to. That's right. I just gotta. It's fine.
Politics is
man.
always a risky
Like,
subject. All right, let's see.
All right,
See what's next.
Good time
Hello,
to buy because the minute interest rates go down, everybody's waiting for the
2024. May I introduce my best version? Nothing will stop me. Showtime. Hello, 2020.
That's inspirational.
it's a good message.
Yeah.
Very attractive lady. That's what 2024. I'm very hopeful for 2022, 2023, probably two of the worst years of my life. Relationship trouble. In 2021, I was living my best life, the dream life.
Yeah.
People that were coming into my life was everything that I'd ever hoped for. And those relationships, didn't work out the way that I'd hoped for. And it sent me into a spiral. And, personally, I think I'm out of I'm at least seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but hopefully the tunnel doesn't collapse while I'm still in it. And I can kind of zoom on through and get to the light. So 2024, I'm very hopeful. Things have stabilized. I feel like I'm, got this thing going again. We've, the real estate thing is about to unleash again, I believe. I think 2024 has a lot of potential.
I definitely feel the same way. With the potential, there's always, I guess that beginning of the year, enthusiasm that is had by people, and this is not not to discredit anything. I've got the same, beginning of the year enthusiasm, but it also kind of goes back to my earlier statement about the work, So, yeah, 2024 should be good. Why should it be good? Because I was working in 2023 to make 2024
exactly
better. And like you said, things might not turn out as we expected. They might go south.
Hey man, there might be an EMP attack. There might be World War III breakout.
Yeah.
The new election cycle coming through. What's going to happen? Are they going to steal it again? Is it going to be Trump? Is it going to be JFK? Is it who's going to be breakout on the whole political spectrum? You know,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of unknowingness that's happening coming our way. So,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, you got to try to control what you can control, and you got to have. I mean, positivity is the only way to work, in my opinion. Like you can't like not be positive about things.
Agreed. I feel like you should not do not be oblivious to the world around you and what's going on around you. You got to pay attention, but don't let that break your focus and don't let that stop the work you're doing. Like I remember, one thing I'm kind of proud of, it's not kind of proud of, I'm very proud of. Like, the company I represent is Highrise ENT. That's the label I've been repping since I came in. We've been repping it for 20 plus years. Like it is what it is. It's,
That's your team.
that's my team.
Yeah.
And I'm not jumping ship. It's not happening. There's nobody that's gonna persuade me to leave this team. So, and the only reason I bring that up, because, and I've dropped it in lines, man, we've seen recessions, presidential changes, changes in, Republicans, Democrats, who's controlling the House, and but we've still, even the pandemic, we've seen a global pandemic, and we're still here. We're still, and that comes from just that work and that grinding. Even if it's a slow grind, a steady grind, when things are down, the things aren't looking up. When you can't necessarily see that light at the end of the tunnel, still keep grinding, man. Stay grinding, and those good things will come, and those good things will come. It's not because it's owed to you, or not even that's yeah, because you're deserving, but more so because you work for it.
Well,
You earned it.
I think we all, especially in the artist realm, I think it's more you've created this thing, and when you deliver it, it's for you, really. Like, or I think that would be the best way to approach it is when you create something, you do it for you. You love it. If you deliver it, you love it,
Yeah.
and you deliver it for you. And then if the consumer buys it, great. And if the consumer doesn't buy it, it's still a product that you're proud of. It's still a product that you love. You're bold enough to deliver the product, and then whatever happens to it from there is out of your control. And then you go into the studio again, you go into your shop and you start crafting again, and you start falling in love with whatever your creation is, and deliver it again until you get to the point where you've got some experience, you have feedback, you have a lot of different intangibles that you're getting better, and you're delivering better product until the point where you get that one. Because realistically, even in my world, I only need one relationship. You only need one song. You only need to really capture the community that you're after. You only need that one deal that proves it. You only need that one deal that says, "Oh wow, like he just did it. He did that." And then you have a way to have longevity after that. You've got this proof. After you get this proof of it, and the community has bought your product, then you can still start creating new and delivering new.
Yeah.
That type thing. So, for me, representing, presidents of universities, or selling a historical landmark property, gives me the notches on the belt that I need to say I'm capable of what I'm up to. Same thing for you guys, is you craft that one hit that everybody latches onto, then you got this proof to say this is what I'm about.
I think it is that validation, but I think we also, especially in these times where we live in a society where they're looking at, what's coming next. What are you gonna do next. Like, oh yeah, you achieved these ranks, you did that, but with almost you're only as good as your last effort. So
and
it's like
and I do see that too. But like again, if they want to challenge you in that regard, that's on them. That's not on you. Like Oliver Anthony, he can ride off in the sunset on Richmond, north of Richmond. He don't have to do nothing else. He can take all the criticism and all the challenges in his life, but if he has that one, he can
Yeah.
always stand on, well, I created this. And he can ride that off and he can sing that song until he's no longer interested in singing that song anymore, and people will love it and really not give him too hard of a time over the fact that he hadn't created anything new. I think that's my take. You're against that. You think you
I
got to keep
see it.
delivering.
I see, yeah,
Yeah.
especially in this day and age again, and it's because of the day and age we're in. Like period, point blank, man. We don't make classic music anymore. We don't.
Yeah.
And
It's all repurposed. It's a lot of repurposed, re-engineered type stuff.
and this is not a jab at today's musician, and this is not for hip hop. This is for all genres. But you don't see a lot of that music, this classics. Granted, it hasn't had long enough to become a classic, but when I say something like MC Hammer, do y'all know that's the number one song used in movies and videos is Can't Touch This? It's number one song. Now Hammer, he ain't gotta do nothing else. Cause he's got those residuals coming in from whatever movie. And these are movies. So it's not even like, oh, we used it in the movie and we're just paying you that one time. Nah, you're catching residuals from the movie. So unless Anthony Oliver's gotta hit that big where it's getting distributed and put in the movies and you can generate just continuous income streams off of it, you gotta keep working and
Right.
keep working.
So I guess what I'm hearing you say is if it's not like a timeless situation, the income might stop and you might have to create more just to get to the next you gotta survive, right? You gotta
Yeah,
live.
yeah.
And if you haven't created that timeless classic that transcends the time that you're in,
Mhm.
that will be relevant to whatever culture, how it ever shifts,
Yeah.
and the next generation, and they pick up the song and they love it just as much as when it was originally delivered.
Yeah, yeah.
Then to survive, you got to create some other things.
Yeah, and that's another thing with the music that you said, timeless. There are a lot of artists who don't necessarily know how to make timeless music, and there are certain, I'm not really getting ready to divulge all of the tricks of the trade and whatnot, but there are methods to making timeless music, or there are certain things you do or don't do to make timeless music. So I know not to sound like the broken record, but keep working, keep
Well,
plugging
yeah, I mean,
away.
I think every
and
artist doesn't want to deliver one show and then go away. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're a flash in the pan. Sometimes you have that one that people latch on to,
yeah,
and that you never deliver anything of that quality again.
yeah.
But at the same time, that artist can still make a living.
Oh yeah,
They become some sort of a legend.
yeah,
They got national fame.
yeah,
They can certainly, maybe not maintain the level of income that they once had on that one song in that one moment, but they'll be able to survive off of it.
yeah.
They'll be able to eat
Yeah.
from it from the rest of the rest of their life.
If you do it right, and this is definitely not to knock what you were saying. Yeah, if you got that one smash, that one banger, like yeah, and if you do it right, like yeah, you're always gonna have that bag
Yeah.
in the bank, and now you can just go out and add to it.
What was it? There was an artist. It was like in the St. Louis era. I can't remember his name, but Charlemagne. I can't remember his name, but
Charlemagne the God?
no, he's
No?
just a radio host.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was right after the whole, Saint Lunatics, Nelly. This was a guy that came out of that same area, but wasn't a part of that group. But he had a couple smashes. He bought a bunch of real estate. He hadn't made a hit since.
Not Chameleonaire.
Chameleonaire.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, riding dirty.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, exactly. So he just took that. He blasted out on the scene. He made his hit. He got his money. He invested it properly, and he's a local legend. He doesn't have national fame anymore. I forgot his name. You know what I mean? But he's able to go and get gigs, I'm sure, anytime he wants one. And he's got a big real estate portfolio that he manages, and he's just chilling.
Yeah. So now him, and I'm usually, I when you kind of think of one hit wonders, you'll think of like Bobby McFerrin, like the "Don't Worry, Be Happy" dude.
Right.
But yeah, Chameleonaire, and I would say he is one of the ones who have done it right, And when I say did it right, like, man, the song was timeless, like the Riding Dirty. When did it come out? What was it, like 2000s?
It was like 2003 to 2005.
Yeah, like early 2000s.
Yeah.
Man, I got my little kids, know they can't drive. They ain't got no L's, but we riding dirty. What do you know about riding dirty?
Right.
But, that's that testament to that timeless music. And he was, just smart enough to, have other business ventures going on, and like you said, portfolio. Like
get the assets before you get the toys. Instead of getting the toys before you get the assets.
Yeah, even like you said, man, portfolio. You gotta get a portfolio.
Would you believe?
Do some stuff to get a portfolio together. And get your business right. That's
assets are key.
A huge thing. I think about this a lot when I have these artists I work with, and I'm sure he'll recognize parts of the conversation. And I've told him, get your ASCAP or your BMI, make sure you control as much of your business as you can, so that you can secure yourself, build your foundation, you just have more control over your business, so it's more for you.
Right.
So, and he was obviously one of those artists that, had that together, and boom, he made Riding Dirty. And yeah, I don't really think he's made a track since, and you can't do that, if you do it right and control your business. And
yep.
Boom.
See the next one.
I had a little comment.
Yeah,
I don't know. Number one, Ryan Dirty came out in '96. Apparently, does that sound right? I looked it up. No, it must have been another song.
He's
or
not a
something.
'90s rapper.
Yeah.
Riding Dirty. I mean, that's probably got a couple different titles.
Well, yeah, probably got a couple different titles, but it's also possible, man. And I say it's possible, like
he was after Nelly. He was after.
Well, yeah.
He was before Murphy Lee, but he was after Nelly for sure. Like he was right around the same time. I'm pretty sure.
But I mean, you see stuff.
2005.
2005. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what I saw something. It's a '96. It must have been a movie or something.
Well, it probably was another artist that did the same title.
Yeah,
That's possible.
It's weird that would come up first over because Chameleonaires is so popular.
I want to meet Sabrina Rose one day.
Who's that?
This agent that we just watched for real.
Shout out to Sabrina Rose. All right, let's see.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Who is your competition?
We have no serious competition.
None.
Not presently.
Who's chasing you?
Well, if you mean chasing and has a serious chance of catching, then I think none that I'm aware of.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Dude, I love Elon. Dude, I love me some Elon Musk, man.
That was baller.
What do you think about that?
I like it. I'm just I'm laughing because, yeah, that's I guess I, in a sense, understand business, and that's the because and it's not an arrogance thing, but if you would ask me the same questions, I'd probably give you the same answers. Like, who's your competition? Got no competition,
bro. I'm like, so I just want people to understand where I'm coming from when I'm so bold enough and so confident enough to make some of the posts that I make.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a post up now that, you know, is talking about the people that come into my life, and when they leave my life, they are better. You know, they've either healed from something, they understand something better.
Yeah.
They understand when they leave me, when they go to the next one, that I was a little bit different. And I'm bold enough to tell people that.
Yeah.
And these clips right here, when I see Elon doing it, or when I see Trump say something in a bold way, or if I see these men that have achieved a lot of things saying things like that, then it influences me to feel the same way because of the things that I've done and the things that I'm doing and the sacrifices that I've made over time. That's why I post some of the things that I do. Is because of the influences in the people that I look up to doing the same things, and I believing that same thing about me. So like, hopefully people will understand what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and why I'm doing it. But at the end of the day, when he says stuff like that, he's always getting hate. He's always getting pushback. You know, when LeBron says he's the best basketball player in the world, well, how dare you say that? How dare you feel that? Like, that's a little arrogant, or, you know, like, blah, blah, blah. But that's what you, even if Michael's better, right? Even if you believe Michael Jordan is the better basketball player, LeBron's got to feel the way that he feels. He's got to feel like he's the best. And I don't blame him at all for thinking and saying and doing the things that he's done to try to get that spot.
I don't blame him either. And I think it's when you see these people making these statements, there's a couple things going on. And I say a couple things going on. I will believe they're comfortable in their own skin. They're comfortable in their own skin because they know their worth. So when you see these, and even yourself, you know, and anybody, if you can get up there and make these statements, you have to know your own worth. Period. You have to know your own value. And I kind of find I don't necessarily I guess in post, I don't necessarily maybe make such arrogant posts or statements because you're gonna get that in the music. I'm gonna be as arrogant as I'm
You know, and let's
arrogant bastard in the music.
Here's the thing though, is there's a fine line that a lot of people have a problem with when it comes to confidence and cocky versus being arrogant. You know, there's a bit difference. You know, arrogance is a little, I think it's a little bit more extreme, and people don't, they really misjudge the two. I think, you know, confidence and a little bit cocky is a necessary thing. You know, so, but like I said, there's a fine line there. People have a hard time with everything that anybody posts that is in, you know, agreement with oneself. You know, anybody that's trying to big themselves up is going to come across in some kind of capacity to at least their haters as less than. You know, is like, you know, we don't like that from that person, but they didn't like us in the first place, so who cares?
Bingo,
right?
Bingo.
I want you to go to my Facebook. I want you to go to my Facebook, Hunter, and I want you to go to that post, and I want you to look at all these comments that I'm getting, and I want to react to these because I actually turned the notifications off, and I know there's been a bunch of people commenting on it, like the haters that I have. So we can just see that and then just like and just react to that. I'm just gonna read it. All right, so I'm just going to read it. Here's an honest truth. Sometimes I check up on the women I dated or gotten involved with in one way or another, even former employees and friends I don't ever talk to, just to see how life is going for them. And I know for certain there was something about our relationship they still use, something they miss, and will never forget. When you're in my orbit, you get better. So that's, me saying I'm making an impact for people. I'm helping them through things. I'm training them to be better. I'm a difference maker is what I'm saying. I'm a difference maker. And then in the comments, they're like, one girl's like, something I've never had anybody tell me that's made any positive impact in my life is they made a positive impact in my life. So she's just coming to like go to more replies. Yeah, see, the one thing I've learned about people that have made the most positive impact on my life is they never told me how much better I was for being in their orbit. So this is just a complete like hater saying, shut the fuck up, you're feeling yourself a little bit too much, or something in that regard of, she couldn't handle my bold nature and came at me like I did something wrong by saying that I'm a difference maker.
Making an observation, like you've done something wrong by making an observation. Like you're looking at the lives around you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I guess the background with her, but I mean,
I went to school with her for a couple of years, but she's not been in my orbit, and she has a problem with my use of being in my orbit, but if you're around me, you're in my orbit. So she's taken that wrong to think I'm the sun and everything revolves around me. That's how she's thinking, is that I think everything revolves around me.
And it's not so much. And I don't know, maybe, we've chopped it up a couple times. Yeah. And I look at it like, why I feel the same way about myself. And why would you not? Why would you not strive to be that kind of person? Like, yo, if I'm around anybody, I want them to be I want you to leave better than you came into my orbit. Yeah. And what's your orbit? Like you said, it don't have to be everything revolves around me. Like, yo, the outer edges of the orbits touched, and for that meeting time, it was better. Like, so, and that's when but that does lead me to believe when I say sometimes it makes me wonder, like, well, how do you feel about yourself? Like, what do you think about the relationships you come into? Because I don't see anything crazy on there. It's not like you was up there talking about, oh man, I check up on all of these people, and all the chicks I checked up on, they all begging to have me back. Every former employee is asking for their job back. And nah, man.
I'm saying, I hope I'm there. I'm there because I cared about them. I'm there. I'm checking up on them because I'm hopeful that they're living a good life. Yeah. I'm really being genuine to say, hey, like, I'm thinking about you, and I'm coming to like hopefully see some good things that are going on in your life. And I know for a fact that there was something that we experienced together that you implement in your life today because of me.
Yeah.
And it's made your life better. Or you were going through something in your life and I brought you up and I loved you and you healed. Yeah. And you moved on to whatever it is you moved on to, and you're not punishing in the same way you were punishing with me, or something like that. Yeah. There was a lot of, a lot of situations where I had to help people through a lot of pain, and I got, I could have absorbed that pain myself. A little bit I did. Mm-hmm. So I absorbed that, and I had to heal from that on my own.
Yeah.
I didn't have nobody helping me through. I had to heal on that. I had to do that work myself alone, and that's the pain of a man, that's the pain of a man is when you're going through hard times, there's not going to be many people there for you.
Yeah.
You know, like we're the people there for other people.
Yeah.
The strong men are the
Yeah.
ones that are there for the other people. You know, so I don't have nobody to turn to. I have a great foundation in family. My mom, my stepdad. They're the only ones that are going to be there for me if my world is collapsing, and they can only do so much.
Yeah.
So it's really on me to handle all of the chaos and turmoil and bad luck that comes with life. I've got to be ready to absorb that myself. So as a confident guy, as a successful guy, a guy that's achieved something, I'm willing to go out here and stand on a hill and be that bold to say what I bring to the table.
Yeah.
You know? And then whatever the reactions are, I'm prepared for. I understand, like, when people come at me sideways or they have a problem with the ways that I think, I actually have the humility to understand that, which was the post above that after the fact that I started getting this heat, is to understand what humility actually is. It's not saying the thing, it's understanding the reaction to the thing.
Yeah.
That's humility. That's being humbled. That's being humble and having empathy is when your biggest hater shows up and starts hating. And you understand that you're gonna have you can explain yourself and you have an opportunity to debate in the conversation, but you do it with grace and you know, until it gets super disrespectful, I try to keep it on topic and graceful. But I can go low too. I have no problems going low if it goes real low. Uh, I can jump in that as well and start talking shit as well.
We could, you know, but I'm definitely, you know, sure in your position. You'd rather not take that route. I'm the same, you know. I try not to take the low road and take the low approach, and again, I still say I agree with a lot that you said. And it's that self-awareness. I know the culture and the society that we live in now, everybody, they want to be so woke and I'm awake and in tune, and that's great and all, but you know, be awoke or awake about yourself. Be in tune with yourself, you know. So if you have that value, like, you know, and I hear it a lot. I hear kind of the cockiness, the arrogance. You know, I'm a very confident man when I go out into the world. Anywhere in the streets I go, my head is held high. I'm very confident. But part of that humility and even knowing my value, man, I'm never too good to learn. I'm never too good to hear anything. Like you got an opinion,
You got a new idea?
good, bad, negative, yeah.
Let's hear it. You got a new idea? Let's hear it.
Different. I'm open to it. I can hear it. I'm open minded. So, you know, let's not forget that. And that's what it kind of looks like. That's what happened. He just kind of focused on the post. And I say the post again, man, we ain't known each other for years and this, that, and the third, but even in the brief interactions and the things I've seen, man, you're not closed, man. I hear you all the time talk about, oh man, I'm gonna have to, you know, we're gonna have to get together later. I'm gonna have to pick your brain real quick or get a crash course on this. That means you're open to learning.
Yeah.
You're open minded.
I think people will latch on to certain words, you know, like orbit or you know, me saying how I feel like I've made a difference. And they want to like diminish, you know, they wanted to diminish my impact. You know, they don't actually fully understand what they're seeing here. And you know, that's a bold statement too. Like they don't understand what they're looking at. They don't understand what has been done, all the things that I've put action to. I mean, I'm a goal setter, I'm a dreamer, but I move. I don't just sit there and just wish it to happen. I make moves to try to make it happen. So, you know, and I'll do it when I have nothing. I'll do it when it doesn't make practical sense to do it. I do it because I want to do it and I know that it's possible. And I'm resourceful. I don't need the resources. I don't have the resources all the time, but I know I can find them.
Yeah.
And I know I'll ask with no hesitation on getting a no.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that I'll go knock on a door for somebody that wants to buy that house. I have no relationship with that homeowner, but they want the house. Hey, homeowner, you want to sell this house? I have you a buyer.
Yeah.
You know, I've done that. I've made bold moves and I've put myself out there.
Yeah.
And I understand that I'm going to get no's consistently, but I'm showing up and I'm doing the things for that one yes that I know is out there too. So
that's sales, you know.
That is.
That's sales.
Yeah.
You gotta have you know, it's a lot of the understanding of things. I haven't done real estate per se, but I've done telemarketing, sales, so I know, you know, just saying that, you know, and it is that that resilience, that resilience, putting that work in, because you know that yes will be there, that you know that turnaround will be there and it will be coming. And you know, just putting that effort and that work behind it. Well, man, that just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of makes me think though. And I say that like, let's say I'm scrolling by that post and I see it and I really don't agree with it. Let's say we went to school and I'm like, man, you're just fucking asshole in school.
Right.
All right. That's what you were in school. I know I got enough going on that I don't even got time to entertain that. So if you feel so negatively, I always look at that, especially like social media. When people pick these fights or they have to respond negatively, I always wonder like what was going on in your day of life so bad that you just had to chime in and get that off your chest. Either what was going on or lack thereof. What did you not have going on? There's a lot of times, and this is how it goes. Like, you know, I might not have time to share my man's post about something because I ain't even have time to share my own stuff. Why? I had real stuff going on. I had real life going on, so it wasn't time to.
It's actually very flattering to have anybody that actually spends the time and effort to make the comment. I'm very like flattered by that. No matter if it's negative or if it's whatever. They took the time to read the entire thing.
Yep.
They dissected it. They took the time to then say, what the fuck is he talking about? And then sit there and actually type out a comment to go against the thing.
Yeah.
So I made an impact just in that moment.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. I would be kind of curious, not to drag it on and be a prick, but I would kind of ask her, like, yo, well, did you feel better that you got that off of your chest? Because if you did, you were just in my orbit. You know it. Boom, you're feeling better. Like, point proven.
That's good stuff.
You know,
oh, man.
That's
good
me,
stuff.
So.
All right. So, to figure out as far as like what you got going on, how can we support you? And you got this last time we were together privately, we watched your video. I don't know, we put the video up and just like let's watch it again and let the viewers kind of start plugging his stuff to go to his channel and support the things he's got going on.
That's definitely what's up. So amazing, it's contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing. So amazing, it's contagious. contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing. Going all in and it's so amazing. Melodic flow is so contagious, like getting 21 in Vegas. Big joker with all the aces. Anything I touch, I'm lacing. Understand that you can't f with greatness. Mind your manners and hold your patience. Whenever I drop, you know it's blazing. Said it before, you boy, it's hella raw. One of the nicest you ever saw. jc'zar is above par with shades on and a stuff scar. Had to get a chick just to say, on the mic, y'all spit that blase blah. If it don't apply, then let it fly. From blast, lick up, and NY. Talk about the bag, well, I'm in mine. Between love and hate is a thin line. And I'm far from being a slim guy, so I tend to fall on the winning side. That's how it goes when you're spitting fire. You keep it lit, make it time. When the morning scene is like Miller time, and can't nobody kill my vibe. So amazing, it's contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing. So amazing, it's contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing. So amazing, it's contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing. So amazing, it's contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing. Soak it all up, we stargazing, give no fucks with no one saying. The music playing, the beat is banging, we in the zone, don't try to change it. Ain't nobody trying to hit a lane to give no fucks. If you're rich or famous, we all just hanging and maintaining on cloud nine and outer space. And we fly, captain is on the spaceship, floating away, no destination. Need no tickets or reservations, but when we start the levitating, I don't wanna hear no hesitations. We ain't stopping to even breaking, relaxing and breathe, it's a lot to take in. Get a say for it if you need to say when you ain't afraid, then ride the wave. Guarantee you gon' leave better than you came. We can kiss the sky, that's purple haze. The experience is off the chain. When you elevate into another plane, it'll blow your mind, it's so insane. Ain't nobody out there flowing the same. Got them open like a dose of Novocaine. So amazing, it's contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing. So amazing, it's contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing. So amazing, it's contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing. So amazing, it's contagious, just take it all in, baby. We just out here stargazing, vibing while the music playing.
It's a good fucking song, bro. I mean, really, it's a good song.
Appreciate it.
And I told you, like I told you before, you got that low down Houston sound. You know, it's a good. I mean, the beat's good, the lyrics are good. It's a fun. It's a fun song.
Yeah.
And let's go to YouTube. Let's go back to YouTube. I want to look at the analytics. If you can change over to my account and go there, so we can look at the analytics of that thing. I want to see what it SEO ranks and the tags and everything that's on there. And okay, let's see here. That's where we're lacking. I think we talked about this last time. Do we have a comment down there? You pinned that comment. Okay, good. Search is so important, where you're naming your thing, and you got a way for them to see more content and that type thing.
Yeah,
that's very important. This TubeBuddy thing, the analytics thing that we have here, is pretty cool to see. But your SEO, trying to you don't have any tags. You don't have any tags. I bet you money that stargazing or some sort of around astronomy, or something like that, if you tag that, you would like fool the algorithm to put you in search on somebody looking for, like, the Big Dipper, or like some crazy thing out in space.
Yeah.
You would just rank up that, you just get algorithm juice for no reason, just based on your tags. So Hunter, I almost go back through there and retag this thing.
Okay.
And go in there and try to play around with your title or something.
Yeah, that's definitely.
And we got to get your subscribers up. You're way too talented for only 57 subscribers. You know, like those are rookie numbers. Like we got to get you up on that. And that's just going to take promotion and advertising. You know?
So it'll be and this is not to, I guess, knock the hustle or cheapen anything. It's just the realization of what the business is. Everything's organic thus far. You know, it's all organic. You know, we haven't put the money into the promotions. And when I say the promotions, as far as getting on here on certain social medias, and to me, there's a line and a difference. So when I say put the money into promotions, hell no, I'm not getting ready to pay X amount of dollars so they can go up there and put 100,000 in front of the views, and then I have 99,000 views. Like, it's not what I'm talking about. It's that promotion is kind of gonna, like you said, keep you in the algorithms.
See, and that's the great thing about me. You know, what we're going to do here is we're doing the research. We're figuring out the best way to optimize things, and we're going to just deliver that to you to help, you know, shine the light on your talent and what you're putting out there. And that's what we're trying to replicate for anybody that comes into wanting to do this type stuff. We're trying to really understand this, use me as a guinea pig, and to get to some sort of success of the same thing I was talking about the real estate thing. Is, hey, we've developed this, we've achieved this one thing, we've done it, and we did it this way, and now we can replicate that for you because we know how. That's so again, like, I'm not like, we're still learning, we're still progressing, we're still but we're the only ones doing it here. We're only ones trying to figure this thing out in the New River Valley that I can tell. I don't know anybody else putting this much motion and energy and effort into this particular type of thing that we can replicate for everybody. You know, so yeah, I mean, we definitely got to get your subscriber count up. You know, we're almost at 400. You're far more talented than us. You know, I feel like you've been in it. You're delivering product like that. That's a good song. More people should be listening to it. And the only reason why they're not is probably because of the search engine optimization in the actual platform. Because, you know, I think if enough people heard this, they would share it and more people would hear it, and it would get out there. So, and really, it doesn't even matter when it gets out there as long as it does. So maybe even deleting this one and reposting, or, you know, taking it to making sure that we clip out the best little segment there and take it to TikTok and then drive them back over to YouTube for the entire song. Like, figuring out the funnel that we need to drive attention your way is something that we're waking up every day trying to figure that out.
Dedicated to it.
Yep. So, but hey, man, y'all did a great job. It's, in my opinion, it's just as good as what's being delivered today anywhere else. Are you ready? Are you ready to take, 7 other songs and get on stage wherever we can find a stage for you to book? So you ready for that?
Yeah. We've been doing shows. I think last year was probably the largest number of shows we've done since the pandemic. And we've definitely we've taken this, incorporated it into the lineup for songs we've done at the shows. And
well, I definitely want to be there to support you on the next event, and I want to definitely help promote and get folks to that. So definitely keep me in the loop of that, and then we will start like blasting out that situation where we can drive people over to see you perform.
Yeah, this is we've got something on February 9th, so it's not that I'm performing, but it's I'm helping sponsor the event, so we're putting it on. That's Ladies and a Mic. That's at the Coffee Pot in Roanoke. It's February 9th, and So even kind of what we were talking about with, community events and getting the community involved. Sometimes we're fortunate enough where we've been able to participate in performing at the event, but it's also, been kind of fortunate enough to sponsor the event, and like this ladies in the mic, man, it's a dope show. We've sponsored it for a few years. It's always entertaining. So it's definitely something. Come on out there, man.
Definitely.
And check it out,
Hey Jay, when's the next time you perform? Do you have anything lined up?
No, we don't have anything right now. It'll be more springtime once that kind of festival season kicks off, and we'll have more then. We'll have more show dates and updates and all of that stuff.
Got a couple songs in the works too. Rumor has it.
Yeah, man, we got a ton of stuff in the works. So no, we've got, what is it? We've got what, a couple EPs or
A couple EPs, and you got a single with me too. So
yeah, we've got a couple EPs, singles. There's always constant work. Like what is it? Cruising Altitude is the EP. I mean, we've got
that's the
Cruising
working title, yeah.
Cruising Altitude EP. We're working on, I think, Ride and Roll is the next single. So um there's always, constant work, me and my DJ Coriander, we're working on the Stranger Things EP. I've got the guys at Flat Five Studio, I'm working on the EP with Poe there, and we're working on the next Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll album. So it's, like I was saying, that work, just kind of that stay busy, stay working.
That's awesome. So as far as your writing process goes, do you have any kind of writing process? Do you, as somebody that's, really trying to do this, it sounds like you're really working at it. Do you have like something in your calendar where you're like, all right, it's time to write. It's time to think about things in the world and trying to get them delivered into either, your lyrics or like down on paper, like take them through how the process of how you create.
Now the process, and I don't know, kind of makes me feel a little, I guess, bougie in a sense. Like I remember when I was younger, it would be, oh man, it's popped into my head and I gotta write it down and jot it down. And now it's to the tune, like I think he might have asked me before, we've been working on something, and he's like, oh, well, just grab one of the verses you got in your, one of your spare verses. I have spare verses. So what do you mean you don't have spare verses? I don't write shit down unless I'm specifically writing to a song, And I mean, when I say specifically writing to a song, like producers had to have sent me a beat, or, when we were talking about the mixtape stuff, I've got to be moved to write towards that mixtape stuff. So
you get the inspiration off the producer's beat that you get, and then you just kind of go into the annals of your mind, what's happening in the world, what you're inspired by in the moment, and then you start delivering based on the inspiration you have with all the combination of that.
Yeah, it can be a combination of a bunch of different things. So when I say different things, sometimes if I'm doing a song with somebody, an example, me and you are doing a song, let's say you take the lead verse, whatever the subject matter is, I'm gonna follow suit. Something like this, where this came from, stargazing. I didn't know what the hell I was writing about. I didn't know what the subject matter was, but the name of the original instrumental was Stargazer, wasn't it?
It was either Stargazer or Stargazing.
Yeah, something like that. And from then I was just
so like producers will name their beats certain things and they'll deliver you the beat and it's called that, and you're like, oh, that's hot, I'm gonna do something around that. Something like that. Is that how that kind of happened?
For this one in particular, yeah, but usually it's not. It was just one of those things, like, sometimes I don't, why I do like the producer sending me something or kind of taking a direction. I might not necessarily have a direction, and this was one of them where, I just like the beat, or I didn't know what the hell I was going, write about, but it was just that, kind of that vibe I picked up, and it had that smooth kind of vibe, like, all right, stargazing now. Let's see let's see where we can take it,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I think a lot of this stuff, if I'm just, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm, the observer that I think that I am, there's a lot of sitting around like this and just talking about things that are happening, or say, hey, here's a topic, and let's all come with whatever we can think of on this topic, and see where we mesh up, or what you have to say about it, what I
Mhm.
have to say about it. Across all genres, like,
Yeah.
country music, especially right now. I think there's multiple writers per song, and then they're coming together, bringing that topic together, and
Okay.
that type thing. And
Mhm.
I can't imagine that Drake's not sitting around, Wayne, and they're talking about a subject, and someone's inspired to create a song.
True.
You know?
Yeah. That inspiration definitely pops up, and I don't know if maybe because of my recording situations and being a solo artist, that usually I know we'll usually get together and kind of um delve more into the creative process there, but I know a lot of times I'll kind of take something back to the honeycomb hideout, and
Yeah.
then I'll come up with whatever there, whatever, whether it pops something that pops into my head. An example, like I say, we're working on a Stranger Things EP, like that's kind of, it's easy and difficult in a sense, and I say easy and difficult in a sense, the subject matter is already there. Like I don't really have to delve into what the subject's gonna be. I just gotta zero in on whatever topic,
Yeah.
But
And then how you're gonna, like, tell your story
yeah,
around
how
it.
I'm gonna approach it. So it's there versus when we do something, it's usually just kind of where might pull sounds out of the air, and well, I've got this idea for this hook and this idea for that hook. And sometimes songs take they might we might start over here and think they're going in this direction, and by the time we get to the finished product, oh, we all the way over here in the right hand lane making right hand turns.
Right.
Like, so but that's kind of the cool thing with artistry and music.
Yeah. Is you can just let it flow.
Yeah, you can let it flow. So it's kind of, I think I like my approach, and I say I like my approach. I don't think we really get bogged down. And when I say bogged down, I've seen it, people, we're gonna go to the studio, we're gonna camp out in the studio. So they got all the everything they need from the outside world. They've got it, and they've got it in the studio. And in the sense that, man, we're gonna sit here and make this song. All right, like, oh, you've been here 8 hours, player, and you got no song, or you've just got the first verse to a song, and you're getting to the point, man, you're sucking the life out of the out of the participants.
Yeah.
So I say I like my process, because even if we're doing something creative, we might work on something 2, 3, maybe even 4 hours. I think sometimes we have, but there's always a stopping point, and we kind of dissolve. I take it home. I can kind of I don't want to say think clearly, but I should say more quietly, and approach it at a later time. So I do kind of like that process.
I think for me, as far as, like, we're creating here in this space.
Hmm.
I think there's going to be a lot of moments between us that are going to be like, holy shit, let's get in the studio and let's put that down right now. Don't say another word.
Yeah.
Don't think another thought. Just get to where we got to be for us to get that delivered.
Talking about
on the
podcast studio. Or,
Yeah, just
Yeah.
just
coming in
just
here.
like there's a topic that me and
Yeah.
him are talking about, and we're like, shut up. Don't say another word. Go to the studio right now and let me get the camera on,
Yeah.
and you have that fire behind you the way that you have it right now. Don't lose it.
Yeah.
Just bottle it up. Get in that chair. When we get the camera on, and then deliver. Like I feel like that's my style. That's not. Is that your style? It doesn't sound like that's your style.
No, not so much,
Yeah.
and that's just because of what's going on. And I say what's going on, something like this, where somebody is potentially going to pull up a video and review the video. That's always there, and there's not necessarily that margin for error. Versus when you're doing this is organic, man. This is live art. So kind of that margin for error, that sometimes when you watch these TV shows, some of the funniest moments are their bloopers. Some of the best parts are their outtakes or their bloopers, and you know what's going on. The camera was just rolling.
Sure.
So in this environment, in this setting, I definitely agree. Because I know there's been times we've been talking and it is kind of like, shh,
Let's get the camera on.
Shut up,
Yeah.
bingo.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth. Let's start recording, and then go to, you do want to capture everything. You do want to get everything. And even though that's not necessarily my style, one thing the producers do, I think you do it, I'm pretty sure you do it, all these guys do it, as soon as we go in, the mic is rolling. Like the mic is on. So
I bring the same attitude to the podcast.
Okay, yeah. So you get cool stuff. I've had a lot of songs I'll go through. I do the first take, and these guys are like, "Man, that's it." And I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Man, that it's not getting any better." I was like, "Well, I was just running through," and they're like, "You nailed it. That's it." So,
That's cool. Well, I mean, so realistically, that's the task in my hands here, is to help gain attention for the people that come into my orbit. Whatever, however you feel about that word, that's the word I'm using. Like the people that come into my space that see value in what we're doing, that's my goal. So my goal for you is to bring these numbers up, get you more attention, encourage you, put you in spots where I think that you're going to be successful, put you with the best content ideas I possibly can, and watch you get the things that you deserve, in my opinion. So, so that's the goal. That's my goal.
That's definitely.
What do you think?
Got anything you want to shout out?
Man, there's always, man, you talking about a rapper with shout outs. I could do this for another hour, man. But man, just a lot of the guys, man, 3Bet, Poe, Robbie Rhodes, DJ Coriander, Flat 5 Studios, Spitswell, and I named those guys. Some of them might have heard each other. All of those guys usually work with me and work on something, so they wound up connecting and combining. So even if you look at this real quick, just what you got on the screen, 3Bet, he did the production on the beat, man. Robbie Rose shot the video. You look at the little corner, and you see what is it? My right there, the jc'zar Highrise ENT. That's actually the single cover, but the single cover was done by Spitswell, who's another producer. So, and I give a shout out to these guys because they all work on these things with the effort like it's their projects. So I definitely just want to give a thank you to all of the guys that are in my corner and support me and back me up, man. I appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you guys.
So you have just kind of testing you here. You have a Twitter account?
Yeah.
What's your Twitter handle?
FSHRENT. At FSHRENT.
And then Instagram?
Yep, and it's at the same thing, at FSHRENT.
We'll link those up where people can find you there.
Yeah, we got the website. Website is up there. That's Highrise ENT. So you can definitely go there. We've always got if it's new material, we're usually doing some type of ticket giveaway for shows or something to kind of get people involved and just kind of, give back in a sense. So
One last
definitely,
question I'll throw at you for all the young artists out there. What kind of advice would you give them?
It's good.
To network, work hard and network. I think that's just the best, simplest advice to give, man. Just keep working and definitely network. Network if you can. And I don't mean phony networking, like, if a perfect example, I watched the last podcast. So networking. Did I go and was Ashley?
Yeah.
Was I in her inbox the next day? No, I don't have any reason to, But did I check out her page and look at what was going on? Yeah. I might want to buy a house in Roanoke one day.
Yeah.
And it'll be real easy to say, hey, I saw you here or I saw you there. So so that's what I mean by networking, keeping those channels open for communication, being able to access those things, the resources.
Yeah.
So,
And and the advice that I would give anybody in any endeavor is don't ever give up. Just
yeah,
don't ever stop. Like if you believe in it, if if you believe in what you're doing, if you love what you're doing, if the things that you want in your life are those things, don't give anything up.
yeah,
Just keep going. And then at some point there will be a moment for you. If you put yourself in the right spots, networking with the right people,
yeah,
and you don't give up,
yeah,
there's a pretty good chance that something's going to happen for you
yeah.
if you just don't quit.
And just and learn, never stop learning, keep your mind open and just be ready to learn and, try to be a sponge.
Well,
So,
I'm going to offer this to you as somebody that I kind of revere. I look up to you. The things that you are trying to do is something that I think takes a lot of courage. I think it takes it takes a very secure individual to put yourself out there like that. And we want you to come on anytime you want to come on and talk about something.
oh
You're welcome to
man,
come on.
I
And
appreciate that.
when something's happening in culture,
Mhm.
in music, in art, and just the way that we're living our life, we want you to come on and give us your perspective on things that are happening.
Ah man,
So
I definitely appreciate that. And I would like to, man. I
yeah,
like the just kind of the format, the vibe. Like I said, I've watched the other ones. Honestly I didn't realize you had as many. So I was like, oh, I
yeah, dude, I'm
gotta
100 shows in.
yeah.
So the three that we're in right now,
Uh-huh.
I'm 100 shows in prior.
Okay,
So
yeah.
so
So I
yeah,
gotta check those out. And I
yeah,
definitely, we were kind of laughing coming over here, and I was saying, not everything's for everybody. But I said, there is stuff I'm interested in, business and real estate and
yeah.
stuff. So I said, man, I'm checking that stuff out. I'm going to watch that stuff and, see if I can, what I can learn and what I can do.
Yeah.
So,
And however I can be of a resource, uh, you know, through this situation here,
yeah,
I
man.
got you. So
I definitely,
however I can make a positive impact for you, just let me know.
I definitely appreciate the love, man. And we'll definitely, would like to reciprocate that. So I've already, kind of put the word out to some guys, and it's not just, oh, hey, watch this podcast, but it's, like this is the podcast, this is what's going on. This is why it would be a good opportunity for you to come here. And also
Sure.
just the plat the platform and the environment. You got to feel comfortable in. What was it, the setup? Wasn't it when we came here the first time, you were just kind of getting introduced to everything. I think it was.
Yeah, he was using that as a test.
Yeah.
To like know how to get the things to cut and to record, and like we were the guinea pig. That was the guinea pig. Like the
but
pre-show.
we were off to the races, man.
That was
Like
episode 0.
Yeah, but I mean, just the boom, we jumped into it, and it was almost natural.
Yeah.
So you know that was you making me feel comfortable, and it's not even as a guest. So just human being. So I was in that orbit. So you know, it was.
That's what we're trying to build here.
So, you know, I definitely, like I said, I've put the word out to people, and you know, so I appreciate that, and would definitely like to, you know, like I said, reciprocate that.
For sure, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
For
those who want glory, just know, no matter what you've been through, it's out there for grabs. Yeah. Take us home.
Ancora più forte sono 10, 100, 1000 volte. Ancora più forte sono 10, 100, 1000 volte. Ancora più forte sono